service vitamins. St. John's playing very well, different first half than the first half last week. All the players playing well, and St. John's even with a couple of chances to go further ahead on the scoreboard than they are at the moment. At the moment the score is 20-4. The defence in the first 10 minutes was tremendous, like I've never seen all season. Very hard tackling by St. John's. However, from that point onwards, their defence dropped off a bit and they allowed the Panthers to go in for a try in the corner. And my cameraman going a bit ballistic there, but I think St. John's can continue to make this scoreline further, and I think that's what their coach, Fatty Gannon, would be saying to them at half-time, to just keep their heads and continue playing the way they've been playing in that first half. I think it'll be our last telecast of the year, as if St. John's do win this game, the grand final will be professionally taped. So at this point I'd just like to thank all the parents of the players who have supported their sons and nephews respectively throughout the season, and support of all the St. John's fans and management and staff and training staff, including Chris Ayub, Danny, and of course Coach Fatty Gannon. And also thanks to my co-commentator Tony Kay, who has been a good co-commentator all season long, especially when talking about Joe Dada and Sam Mina, his two favourite players, I think. Anyway, we're here for the second half, and we're about to find out who's going to play in the grand final, the 2001 grand final for the under-15s Canterbury competition. The kick-off by Innes. It's gone down and taken there by Max, the fullback. Or is that George Batty? Driving me, Batty has made a break off the kick-off. George Batty shapes the kick, palms in the face, and he's taken 5 minutes. A big run by George Batty off the kick-off. This is Tyson out to Danny. Johnny Sardi looking work, gets a beautiful ball away, and that's to Dean McGrath, and Dean McGrath's taken 25 metres. Sorry, that was Cole, and this is Danny. The ball goes backwards, says the referee. No, the referee says knock on, and the scrum will pack. 40 metres out. What do you think of that break by George Batty off the kick-off, Tone?
Certainly came out firing, Danny. He gained a good 40-50 metre run, but Danny, then again, they've got to look on their mistakes.
That's right. So George Batty running like a back there off the kick-off, putting his team in a good attacking position, but then a knock-on has seen them put a scrum down, and the Padstow Panthers will come up with a scrum win via their lock forward Innes, who breaks from the scrum to take the ball. The ball's right on halfway. Knock on. The ball's gone loose, and that's a correct penalty there. I agree with the referee. The St. John's player had tackled the marker, and you cannot tackle the marker with the ball. Anyway, they've found touch of Panthers, and this is their chance to put some points on the board. They're 20 metres out. This is McLennan. McLennan, the first tackle. My co-commentator and comrade in arms has gone into the sun. From the second tackle, it's slow choke off, and we're about to find out what St. John's are made of in defence. From the play, the ball, McLennan to Innes. Innes goes to the left. They've got some gaps out here. There's trouble for St. John's, and they'll go over in the corner with the Padstow Panthers. Yes, that's a try, and the Padstow Panthers have scored, and they've put them back into this rugby league game. My sideline eye, Tony Magoo.
Yes, they certainly had the gaps out there on the side, Danny. They've got to watch their gaps on the side, and that made the Panthers go in for a try.
My sideline eye, Magoo, had noticed that the gaps out to the left, the Panthers spread the ball on the second tackle, and they found gaps, and that's when I said St. John's were in trouble, and they were. And their centre three-quarter has gone over for a try, and by doing that, from going to an attacking position, the Panthers have scored a try and put themselves back into this football game. And if this conversion attempt is converted, the Panthers will go into double figures. The score will be 20-10. He's right on the sideline. Moves in, and it's waved away. So the score is now here at the Belmore Sports Ground. The St. John's of Lakemba 20, and it's the Padstow Panthers 8. Johnny Sardi being replaced there by Sam Mino. Still with that niggling back injury is Johnny Sardi. The kick-off. The kick-off there by Dean McGrath. And it finds touch. It's allowed to find touch by the Padstow Panthers. It finds it 15 metres out from their own line. Scrum win by St John's. Dean McGrath finds Max out on the wing. And Max has taken 10 metres out on the left. They'll go to Tyson. Tyson to Max to Radford. Radford with a hard run looking for work. And he's taken 5 metres out. He's still going. From the play the ball, Tyson. Tyson goes to Danny. Danny out there to, who's that? That's Dean McGrath. Loses a ball over the line, does Dean McGrath. And the referee has ruled a knock on. Dean McGrath claiming the ball was stripped of him with 2 players in the tackle. The referee, however, not agreeing, and the scrum will pack. And it'll be a Panthers feed and loose head. Panthers defeat the scrum. They've fed it. And he's taken in a tackle. That's the first. That's Sideshow Bob. Sideshow Bob with his brother Sideshow Mel on the sideline there. You can see him in camera shot. That's a second. Debussy taken in a tackle. Third tackle. My comrade in arms, Tony Kay there on the sideline. Bit of hungover, so his comments are not flowing too well. That's a fourth tackle. So he has decided to go to the sideline to give this St John's team moral support. Max takes it cleanly, a la Luke Patton, and has taken 10 metres out from his own line. From the play the ball is this Towels from dummy half. That's a second. Tyson runs from dummy half, the smallest man on the field and try scorer today, and he's taken in the third tackle. Max is at dummy half. Dummy half running. This is Danny Yusuf. And George Batty driving me Batty. He's looking for gaps and running hard is George Batty. And he's taken 40 metres out. From the play the ball, it'll be Tyson. Tyson back to D. McGrath. And the kick is put in, and it's a good one. It's deep into the Padstow Panthers. Knocked back by the Padstow Panther there. He runs it back. Beats one tackle, but eventually taken in a tackle. That's first. From the play the ball. It's Tyson. Taken in a second. Plays the ball again. The ball will go to the right. Kabusi. Beautiful tackle. Who's that around the legs? That's Cole in the tackle there. Again with D. McGrath wrestling with the player there. Sideshow Mill gets the ball. Taken in a tackle. Ball and all by Danny. Well done by Danny there. That's the fourth. Out to the right they go. They look for support. And it's a tackle and they're taken. This is the last. What's Padstow Panthers going to do on their last tackle? They point to the air for the bomb. They go right, however. It's Sideshow Mill. Mill's got the ball and steps and swerves. Kicks the ball into a St John's player. And the referee has ruled it was charged down and the St John's player has gone into touch. But has he gone into touch after the referee's called held? No, says the referee. Therefore, a scrum will pack and it will be a Panthers loose head and feed. Sideline Imagoo. Tackle. A tackle. That is the question. When's a tackle called a tackle? They go blindside the Panthers. Sideshow Mills got the ball and he's played it. His brother Sideshow Bob is behind him. From the play the ball, it's McLennan to Innes. Innes taken in a tackle and the ball's gone loose. And yes, that's a fair penalty. There was 2 men in a tackle there. And a penalty against St John's. They'll take a quick tap, the Panthers. Innes will run it up. Can St John's scramble? The ball is lost. And again, another strip. And Sam Mino is called out. Hopefully there won't be a sin bin here, Tone. Sam Mino is called out. Referee talking to Sam Mino and to Max. Can the St John's, the John boys, hold out? Their scrambling defence seems to be okay up until this point. That's the Furs. They're 2 metres out from the line. This St John's defence holding. They go to the right. And they pop forward. And he's going to go over for a try. The Padstow Panthers have scored. And St John's have let them back in the game, scoring a try. And the score is now the same. This is Dean McGrath going up to the ref to have a word with the referee. But it is now St. John's of Lakemba 20, the Padstow Panthers 12. Magoo deciding back on the field, replacing towels on the interchange. The score is St. John's 20, Padstow Panthers 12 as the ball falls over. St. John's a good chase there. That's the first tackle. The Padstow Panthers come back with 2 tries and have got their tails up. Second tackle. I think St. John's need to be the next scorers here to put the last final nail in the coffin for the Padstow Panthers. Innes going in a good hard tackle by Sam Mino, and McGrath again there. And the referee's ruling lost up fair and square, and this will be a St. John's loose head and feed. Sideline eye, Tony Magoo from Fedham 1 by St. John's. This is Danny out to Max. Max looks for an inroad and has taken 25 metres out from the Padstow Panthers line. From the play, the ball has gone to Tyson. Tyson out to Danny. Sam Mino goes forward, breaking, well and truly breaking the vantage line. And he's taken in the second tackle, in a ball and all tackle, 10 metres out from the line. Tyson goes to the right to Danny. Dean McGrath looking for an inroad. Looking to get the pass out but doesn't. Goes to ground with the ball. On the third, this is Tyson to Danny. Danny goes wide to Joseph Dada. Dada from Dada Uniforms has gone over for a try. Joseph Dada, and this could be it. This could be the try that puts St. John's into the grand final. Sideline eye, Tony Magoo. High scorer Joseph Dada. Didn't have to run far for that try. And it was a good try, and a try that St. John's desperately needed just to turn the tide of this game, because the Padstow Panthers was starting to get their confidence up. And now St. John's put this try on the board and have turned the tide of the game. The conversion attempt is waved away, so the score is now here at the Belmore Sports Ground. It is the St. John's of Lakemba, the Johns boys, 24. And it's the Padstow Panthers 12. On the kickoff, it's not a deep one. It's knocked back by St. John's, and the Padstow Panthers come up with the ball off the kickoff. Bad mistake by St. John's. This is the first. Innes on the second is taken 20 metres out from the line. From the play the ball, it's McLennan. Innes. And this is a big pop forward, and he's taken in a good tackle there, wrapped up ball and all. And it's Simon Weeby in that tackle. Here they go blindside. They've got to be careful. They're tremendously close to the line. This is a fourth tackle. Out to the right they go through Innes. McLennan. Can they hold out St. John's? Their scrambling defence is holding. This is the last. What can they do? Innes. Fredgington. McLennan. Wrapped up, is standing in the tackle, wrestling with Dean McGrath, the captain, who's and Tyson in there with Desmond. On the left they go, can they hold out? It's taken and they intercept by Dean McGrath, and the captain courageous has saved the game. If it's not good enough that he's made 600 tackles in the game, he saves them right on their own try line. This is the first tackle, Max playing the ball. And the referee, that's the second. From the play the ball, Tyson. Tyson, that's the third tackle. Danny Youssef. It's a back. Dean McGrath clearing kick on the third tackle. They maybe should have used a couple of more tackles before kicking. They went nowhere for 2 tackles. This is a good run by their centre three-quarter. He's taken in a tackle. That's the first. From the play the ball, Sideshow Mel this is. Mel's looking to after the ball, and he's taken on the second. His brother Sideshow Bob is at dummy half. Sideshow Bob out to McLennan. McLennan. He's taken. That's a high tackle. That's high, and there could be a bin here, or could he be on report? And it is. Sam Mino. Mini Mino. Penalty. snap taken at the first, wrapped up by Tyson. Tyson and George Batty in the tackle. From the play, the ball, Sideshow Mill. Again, St. John's defence gets tested. Now it goes to the left. This is the 5/8. He's taken in the third. Player goes down. From the play, the ball goes to the left again. Can they hold out St. John's? Dean McGrath holding on to the and it's lost, and the penalty ruled to the Panthers. Stripping of the ball once again. St. John's not learning. This has gone to the right. They're tremendously close, the Panthers. What can they do? At the try from Dunny half, Sideshow Mill goes over. And again, once again, St. John's have put this Panthers team back in the game with some feeble defence at the front there. That's the try scorer. Sideshow Mill, the try scorer from dummy half. And now the conversion attempt has been gotten, and the score is now here at the Melbourne. It is 24 St. John's and Panthers 18. That's the first tackle. Ball taken off the kickoff. Good ball and all tackle there. The second. Their tails are up as the Panthers. I think he wasn't held in the tackle when he runs another 10 metres, and he's taken eventually by Sam Mino. From the play, the ball, they go wide to McLennan. Innes gets the ball away out the back. McLennan, and he's taken in a ball and all tackle. Again, Dean McGrath doing all the work. That's the third. From the play, the ball, Innes, McLennan, that's a fourth. He's still going. He's taken 20 metres out. Can St. John's hold on? These Padstow Panthers look like they want the grand final more now. This has gone to Sideshow Mill. Mill gets a flick back at the back. He's gone close. He's a metre out. This is the last tackle. It goes to the right. Again, it's Sideshow Mill. Mill's taken, and it's a changeover. He had the line of players out to the right screaming for the ball and went himself. And can St. John's take it out now? They do through Max, and Max goes from dummy half. Now it's driving me Batty, George Batty. George Batty palms two before he decides to go to ground. That's the second tackle. From the play, the ball. Charlie looking to break the vantage line. He's gone third. They're 30 metres out. From the play, the ball. It's Dean McGrath. Dean kicks it deep. And, juggled there. Taken by Joe Dada. That's the first. From the play, the ball. That's the second. Play the ball, Innes. McLennan looking for support. That's the third. Good tackle there. From the play, the ball, Innes. McLennan. That's the fourth. Taken in a ball and all tackle. McLennan to Innes. Kabusi is taken. That's the last. The referee calls the last. What will they do, the Panthers? On it goes to Fredmington. The ball goes dead in a grubber, and St. John's can breathe a sigh of relief. Taken by Tyson. This is Sam Mino. Shoulder charge with Sam Mino. That's the first, but he's okay. Gets up. That's Max. Max is in the second tackle. Gets the ball away to Sam Mino. Mino going forward is Mino. That's the second tackle. Refusing to go down is Sam Mino. From the play, the ball, Tyson, and Denny knocks on from dummy half. From one off the ruck has knocked on. So a scrum will pack 10 metres on the St. John's side of the halfway line. Intercept by Denny Youssef. I tell you what, they're going to be very fast to catch him. No one's going to catch him. He'll run away with the game, does Denny Youssef. Was that Denny Youssef? Yes, it was. A tremendous try, and has probably won the game for St. John's. Version attempt by Dean to put St. John's, and that was the nail in the coffin. That's what they needed. and it was a turn on the game. Conversion missed. However, the score is St. John's 28 to 18. This man, Danny Youssef, playing beautifully all season long, has proven his wealth by a runaway turn of the tide, runaway try to put St. John's in front. The kickoff. There's 5 minutes left in this game. Is there enough for the Padstow Panthers to come back? And there's a knock on off the kickoff by Max. Throws the ball away, does Max. For one hell of a 5 minutes here. The kickoff, the drop kick was by Dean McGrath. Can St. John's hold out? This is Javusi. Javusi, their lock forward's taken in a tackle around the legs by Tyson. That's the first. They're 20 metres out. McLennan out to Fredrington. Fredrington taken in a ball and all tackle by Joseph Dada. That's the second. From the play the ball. It's gone to the right. This is their big prop forward. Solomona drops the ball and into the arms of Sam Solomona himself. Sam Mino. And St. John's now will slow the ball down. This is Tyson. Tyson to George, driving me batty. And driving me batty in the second, taken 30 metres out from his own line. St. John's should use their 6 tackles and then kick it deep down. This is Johnny Sardi. That's the third tackle. Johnny Sardi on the play the ball. This is George Batty again, looking for work is George Batty, and he goes up the centre. He's still going, is George Batty, and that's the fourth. Driving me Batty again, having a good game. From the play, the ball goes to Tyson. This is Danny Youssef. Danny Youssef to Dean McGrath. Dean McGrath ball out the back to Joseph Dada. Dada out to Sam Mino. Mino gets the ball out wide, and that's a magnificent try to the St. John's Lakemba. St. John's score a magnificent try out wide to Max. Joseph Dada got the ball away. Dean was in there. George Batty was in there. Sam Mino was playing like a centre 3/4. And he got a beautiful ball out. And that's one of the best tries in the season scored on the final. And the game now well and truly over, with only a couple of minutes to go. It is St. John's 32 and the Padstow Panthers 18. And now this is purely academic. At this point, I'd like to thank all the St. John's players. My name is Danny Curry. I've been videotaping your games. Next week, I'll be on the sideline supporting you in the grand final, shouting my guts out for you. So there you go. The kickoff. Good run here by Dean McGrath. Dean McGrath, the kickoff, finds support of Danny Youssef. And there's holes everywhere now. Padstow no longer want to play this game. On it goes to George Batty. Driving me Batty goes, and the ball is raked. And they've lost the ball at St. John's. And it's come up with the Padstow Panthers. From the first. Debussy. This is the second. Taking good tackle there, Radford and Dean McGrath. From the play the ball. This is Fradgmington. Fradgmington taken in a tackle. The ball's lost. It's kicked back. The play continues. What's the referee rule? The new rule 6 again. They go for the step. The ball's passed inside. It's still going with their fullback. First touch of their ball, their fullback. And that's the second. From the play the ball. Kabusi, this is their big prop forward. Taken around the legs again by the tiniest man on the field, Tyson. It goes out to the right. Kabusi. Kabusi. Point Fradgmington. Back to Kabusi. And the Panthers put the score on the board. But it's all too late, as St. John's have won this game. No, the referee's ruled a forward pass. The referee has ruled a forward pass. And it'll be a St. John's ball. Be a St. John's feed and loose, and that's the full-time hooter. And St. John's go into the 2001 grand final. And it's goodbye from me and from on behalf of my co-commentator, Tone Loke. It's goodbye from us, and we'll see you next week.